how do these projects happen? Well, it happens through inquiry, and for me as a teacher, the most successful areas in that have been history and geography, because those are the most natural world connections that students seem to be able to make. So when we go through and we examine present day issues and connect them to past day issues, it's when you hear a student say, well, what can we do about this? As soon as you hear that question, you know you've got them, and you know that's where your inquiry is coming from. The other thing I've noticed, having done this inquiry and many ones in years past, is that they generally come from a place where students disagree with one another. Because when they disagree with one another, all of a sudden you've got one set of students wanting to prove their viewpoint to another set of students, and that inspires them to really learn more about the issue. And that's what makes it natural, and that's what makes it the student voice. So my job then is to guide that along, make sure that it stays connected somehow to our curriculum, but also addresses this issue that they want to do. So it's keeping them on track. It's knowing, when to encourage them to do their journaling online, when to encourage them, okay, let's tweet this out. And sometimes they come to me, and sometimes I put that little bug in their ear and see where it takes them. And there have been times where I've suggested something to the class and it's totally flopped. They're like, there's no way we want to do that. And that's okay too, because that is part of the learning. And there's been other times where they've come to me and said, we really want to do this. And then I have to say, well, logistically speaking, we can't because of this, this, and this. But as Julie said, how can we turn it around so that it is something that we can do?
And I will add to that in that I have a lot of conversations with teachers as well as students. So teachers will come to me and discuss, well, I'm thinking about going here with my inquiry. And those conversations sometimes materialize, but often they don't. But it's when those students come to me with their concerns and their thoughts of where they're going with the inquiry that they do materialize, because it really is based out of that student voice. So as a teacher, it's very difficult, but you can have that idea of where you think you want to go, but it doesn't always go that way. It really is born from student voice. And I mean that I teach in a K-8 school, and I mean that from kindergarten to grade 8, where we have an idea, even in kindergarten, where an inquiry might go. And it doesn't necessarily go that way because the student voices are leading it towards a different path. And so those student voices and following their lead, it's very difficult, but it ends up in extremely deep learning that the students are bringing home, having conversations with their parents. And then I have parent phone calls even coming back in saying, what's going on with toads in your school? And we can easily say, well, my junior kindergarten or year 1 student is telling me about the life cycle of a toad. And that is deep and unique learning. And their excitement from kindergarten to grade 8, I can see it in their eyes, and that's what I want to delve into when they're excited about something that they want to do, and for us to be able to follow through on that.